right, thank you, Darren. Scoop City versus Birds Aren't Real. Now, we do have quite a few players from last season and from previous seasons who we're a little bit familiar with, and we definitely do have something to look forward to. But I like what the analyst desk was highlighting, Stefano, with looking for a Kingsland to try to do some playmaking around the Rift. But even if you're going to favor Birds Aren't Real with the higher ranks, this type of stuff, I just feel like you can never count out Dinsbag's teams and what they bring to the table, the chaos that they create on the Rift in this league.
Oh no, absolutely. Dinsbags is one of the most exciting teams to watch, but as a caster and an analyst, the worst team to watch.
Yep.
They make no sense. Any team Dins is on makes cohesively zero sense in any of the decisions they make, but they win games. So you really can't count them out at any point. If they are down like 20,000 gold, there's sometimes I'll still favor them to win somehow. I don't know.
Absolutely. We do see the Darius ban coming out real early. Birds Aren't Real taking that one away from Dins, not wanting to face that up in the top lane. And of course, Reese's Pieces looking to try to take out Dins there, but the Samira ban comes out as well. And I talked to Dinsbag a little bit over the course of the last week, and he said that they've got their official positions, but there's definitely room for some flexing here. So we could be seeing these players kind of go back and forth and move around in the roles depending on kind of what's banned and what kind of comps they want to play.
Yeah, it wouldn't even surprise me to see Dins on something. Like, we know he plays a lot of Kaisa, and you see him Kaisa obviously very strong this patch. Wouldn't be surprised to see a first pick here by Scoop City, just picking up the Kaisa. Yeah, there it is.
Look at that. Stefano comes in hot first day on the desk, and he just nails the first pick. That's going to be Kaisa picked up first. And like you said, there's definitely the possibility that it's Dinsbag on that, and then they switch those around. So I'm really looking forward to if they do that. I love when teams can do that. I think it's a really cool way to sort of throw the opponent off, especially if maybe they're favored in terms of ranks. So we'll see what Birds Aren't Real respond with. They could go for an ADC as well here, and Aphelios is being hovered. What is Aphelios' state right now in the game? You don't see a lot of Aphelios lately.
Aphelio is a hyper carry, but Aphelios is in a weird spot where he's kind of conditional. I do really think five birds are real. Picking Aphelios first is really bad. First of all, when you first pick Aphelios, you almost need to pick something like Thresh or something that can hard peel in a mobile AD carry. But worse for Aphelios is he needs people to run into him. Aphelios pushing forward is really unsafe, doesn't do a lot of damage, just isn't a good character. So if Scoop City can identify that and pick something where they're not, necessarily just running into him, I think that Scoop City is really going to have the upper hand in this draft.
Yeah, you could definitely punish that. And Kayn is being hovered. I've seen Zohair on this before, and that could be a really exciting matchup. Lee Sin can present definitely some problems with Kayn, who really wants to be getting in and getting, those AoE spells off early on and like in those kind of early to mid-game skirmishes. So definitely interested to see the Lee Sin versus Kayn jungle matchup. But I always love Kayn, Stefano. You know me. And we do have the potential for a blue Kayn game here so far with how this draft is looking.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Blue Kayn would be like really strong here, just in general. But as we're looking into the bans now, it's Jax and Orianna banned away. Birds Aren't Real, just more harking on top lane, trying to get these carry top laner out of Dinsbag's hands. Which still does lead me to believe that it is going to be Dinsbag on the Kaisa in the bot lane. Looking more and more opportune.
Exactly like you said. Now, there is the Pantheon ban as well, so they are sort of focusing a little bit on lots of top lane focus, honestly, in this draft, in the bans here. So we'll see what happens in the second half. Still the mid laner and the top laner to pick up here for Birds Aren't Real, so they're going to have to pick at least one of them blind, and we'll see which one they go with here. All this focus on top. Oh, there we go. It's the Tristana mid coming in.
Okay. So Tristana mid is a really interesting pick. You almost never see it blind.
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh. What is?
So
this?
Is it more jungle and Lee Sin mid?
Or Well, if Mordekaiser top comes in, I suppose I would predict the Morgana. There's the set. So wow, this is and
Yeah,
just like we just said it, Stefano. These guys are going to throw some crazy stuff at us, and I don't know. I mean, the Morgana definitely has been seen in mid before, but of course Morgana jungle is a thing. It's possible. It's got a decent
yeah.
clear, and it's got some definite pressure. And I don't know. Lee Sin mid seems a little bit wild to me, but it definitely is a possibility here.
It's the Dinsbags. I'm kind of just expecting it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Greg is the last pick. I really like the Gregus pick.
Hmm.
Um, I think the Scoop City's going to have a lot of issues dealing with it. They do have the Black Shield for it, as well as the Alistair engage, but Gregus is going to be so good at just zoning so much of the backline of Scoop City, stopping any form of approach. I don't love the draft uh, from Birds Aren't Real. I really don't like the affiliates, but I do think they ended up with the better team comp in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I do have to say we are almost certainly going to see a red cane now because of those last two picks.
Yeah.
Alistar and Lee Sin alone pretty much totally shut down blue cane, and then with Set in there as well, you can't you're not going to be able to reach that Kaiser. So it's going to be red cane almost for sure. But like you said, Aphelios is kind of the weird one here, and Tristana mid as well picked blind into some. Honestly, we're not sure where it's going. Like or we're not sure who it's going to be up against. I should say the mid laner for Scoop City still to be determined. So all we have to do is wait and see, Stefano. And I think that's as good a time as any to send us over to a break. We are going to take a quick break to let the tournament draft delay run out, and then we'll be back into game one of Scoop City up against Birds Aren't Real. All right, welcome back, everyone. It is time for Scoop City up against Birds Aren't Real. We got a best of three coming in, and two of the most interesting teams to watch so far. Birds Aren't Real had an absolute barn burner up against George Foreman Grill off stream that I got to take a look at, so I can tell you that it is really exciting stuff. And look at this bodybuilding gonna come flash in. Aldre's going in as well. Zohair might go down level 1, and first blood goes to Maiden ADC. You have got to be kidding me. That is the earliest first blood we've probably gotten in the history of any of our leagues, and it's going over to Scoop City right now. Wow.
Just
Wow,
CLG'd
wow,
them.
wow.
They just ran it down mid. They put
No.
3 flashes towards getting Zohair to die, and I mean it worked. But oh man, that was
Oh,
an aggressive. That was a trendsetter from. Oh, and a
look at this.
flash
No
forward.
way. This is exactly what we were talking about. Scoop City are setting the tempo right now. Dinsbag flashes in and doesn't manage to burn anything from Arch except get his HP a little bit down. But wow, just speechless right now because of because of the start Scoop City just brought us, and yeah, they do go up one kill, and it goes onto the Kai'Sa. So Maiden ADC gets to pick up that long sword here in addition to the Doran's Blade for the start of the lane. That's going to be a big advantage down there.
Yeah, all you need to know about the Dinsbags is that 4 of them didn't have flash by a minute and 20 seconds, and all of them were used offensively.
Yeah.
But as we get back, Kaisa obviously gets the first, but the longsword, as Wes said, is going to be pretty significant. It is on, yeah, as you're seeing there, King's Land and no gap to really pressure and hurt this Alistair level 1. So it shouldn't be too bad during the early levels. Unlike for bodybuilding, doesn't
Bodybuilding
quite go
does
down, but
take a little damage there, yeah, and that is going to be a very difficult matchup. We were talking about this already during the draft, where that matchup between Tristana and Morgana definitely does not favor the Morgana in those early trades. So bodybuilding is going to have to be very careful here, especially having blown that flash early on. Going to be really, really difficult to not fall quite a bit behind in farm here, especially against Arch, probably the best mid laner in the entire league. So that's going to be an uphill battle there for the Morgana. Oh, here comes
Zohair
the
now
gank.
running top lane.
Yeah, Dinsbag going to be in
No
a 2v1.
flash.
And yeah, like you said, no flash available. So Zohair's going to be gifted that one over. And yeah, you do want to camp these solo lanes up here as that Kayn. It's going to be really easy to grab your red form if you're able to get a lot of damage on. And look at this, Dinsbag teleports back in and doesn't have the W up. Zohair gets another one right after, and this game just went from crazy to absolutely insane here in the matter of 3 minutes. This is just
Yeah.
exactly, it's just par for the course for Dinsbag's type of teams.
Oh yeah. Birds on a Real completely flipping the 500 gold lead they had. 500 gold lead that they were against, and and all they really got for it was Jelly got the extra Garab, which isn't great. Just really nice play by Zohair, great awareness and great patience, waiting for the impatient player that is Dinsbags to teleport top lane.
Yeah, and Dinsbag playing a little bit like a Darius there, and Set has that 2v1
Gonna win
potential.
this.
Meanwhile, here comes Maiden ADC for the engagement, but the teleport is coming in. Reese's is already here for Aldre, and Zohair has showed up as well. Look at that timing.
No one has flashes.
Maiden ADC doesn't have the flash available, Stefano. None of them have it, and that is going to be 2 kills coming in for Birds Aren't Real, and it looks like our analyst predictions might have been on point.
Yeah, that was an ambitious gauge by the bot lane on Scoop Lord. They didn't win that regardless, forcing that hard onto the Thresh. There was also the TP advantage for the side of Birds Aren't Real. Kind of just an ill-advised play in general, and they get hard punished for that flash.
Big time punished, yeah. And, one silver lining is that bodybuilding does seem to be keeping up in farm, but not for long. So
No flash on bodybuilding either.
Everywhere, and yeah, no flash on. Well, this is what happens, apparently, when you all flash at level 1. I mean, who knew? That is
As it turns out, your early game gets pretty unsafe when no one has flash.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to be unsafe. Maiden ADC taking a lot of hope there. Kingsland is totally out of mana, but those Thresh auto attacks definitely are worth something at this point of the game. So as we see 5-1, Maiden ADC and Aldre down here. They had it on them to use their advantage, and they are way ahead in items as NoCap hasn't even gone back. But Kingsland's going to try to flash in anyway. And ADC has to just run away and leave his support Aldre to try to survive on his own.
Flash
Here is the gank from Lee Sin. NoCap does get taken down by Jelly. That's a nice play there. And finally, Jelly is able to make something happen. Kingsland also has no flash, and it looks like this one's going to go over. And they're going to have to take this one, unfortunately. They were trying to gift it over to Maiden ADC, but that's not going to happen. Just a little bit too far away. So that is going to be 3 more kills back for Scoop City. And yeah, just back and forth. It just doesn't stop this game.
What we're learning here is that you should probably stop flashing aggressively when you don't have the ability to control the enemy jungler. Kingsland flashes forward, and so does No Gap, Only Gap. They immediately get punished for it. Really good play in map awareness by Jelly. But on the other side, Zohair sees the gank, tries to make a play, but Dinsbag actually picks up a 2v1 kill. He's 12 CS up now. Dinsbag still, despite the fact that he died twice, is still kind of running away with it against Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, and I think Set definitely can be expected to, get in that situation up against a Gragas early on. It just is one of those famous things about Set, is that he just kind of wins those fights he's not supposed to win. He's trying to go for this now and does have to flash away. Dins's flash, I mean, he used it so early, it's already back up 6 minutes into the game. So going to be able to get away from that one, but that's definitely a valuable summoner spell used, and a 2-person gank means bodybuilding is going to be able to push down on the mid lane and grab a plate.
Yeah, well played by Dins to stay alive there. It not only wastes Zohair's time, but it also allows bodybuilding to get the extra plates, with Jelly now with a nice vision play.
Jelly going to come in, and actually Zohair, I mentioned this matchup. Kane has a real tough time against Lee Sin in the early game, but now the collapse may be coming through. Here's Reese's Pieces. Just going to scare the Lee Sin away, but Dinsbag goes in. Doesn't have the flash available, so just has to back off.
We saw there they got the Mia pings from bot lane. They didn't know what Aldre was. Aldre as well has his flash up. Can't really mess with the fight if you don't know where the Alistair is, and he has Mobies, he has flash. Smart amount of game sense there just to back up, not take the fight when they don't need to. They're a little bit gold behind, but they do scale better as well. So all Birds Aren't Real has to do is just keep playing it slow and steady.
Yeah, and Aldre is not interested in slow and steady right now, as going back in onto a Kingsland, but Aldre gets way behind in that trade. and it is, you know, that Noon Quiver coming in from the Aphelios, and definitely does have some very good skirmish potential, you know, known as that the ADC who can do everything,
Mm.
Aphelios, and definitely made use of it there. Now Dinsbag's going to go in and does fancy his luck only on the boots here, so definitely behind in the item department Dinsbag is, but he is a level up, so does still manage to come out ahead on that trade. And also, I forgot to mention, he's set, so he just comes ahead in the trade regardless.
Yeah, he's also ahead in confidence for what it
Yeah,
matters. The way just
exactly.
locked
Yeah,
up
he's
there.
ahead in the Dinsbag factor.
Exactly. The Dins factor.
It definitely
But
comes into play. We've already seen it a lot, and it can be a double-edged sword, as we know. But bodybuilding's doing well to keep up. Now, hasn't gotten any pressure on the map, whereas Arch has gotten a couple of good roams off.
ooh,
Aldre goes up and misses the combo, so Maiden ADC is going to try to follow up on that. Now it is Jelly going in, goes for the insec. Will Maiden ADC be able to finish it off? He does get the last auto attack, and the Kane ultimate comes in, going in on the Lee Sin. Now takes out one. Maiden ADC is in danger as well. That gets the flash away from the Aphelios ulti, and it looks like they might both get away. The only problem is that Zohair can go through walls, and he does do that. Goes in onto Maiden ADC. Here comes Aldre. Are they going to turn this back? Zohair goes down very low in the shutdown. It goes over to Aldre, and that's a great turnaround. Now, here comes Dinsbag. Ults Reese's Pieces out of the tower range and uses the W to force the flash. There is just action constantly. They are not stopping for an absolute second to let us breathe. And
he's got the
Dinsbag's
boots.
gonna keep going. Doesn't quite get it. The boots might have gotten something there, but Arch is gonna finish that one off as easy as pie. So 7-6 at the end of all that. And I don't know, Stefano, you want to analyze that play for me, or?
Yeah, that was whack, yo. No, that was a that was a really good game sense by Zohair there. Yeah, see that the gank was coming. Really nice mechanical execution by Jelly to get the
Yes.
insect to try and force the play bottom, but it was a little bit too deep. You know, that was very close to Zohair and No Gap getting the double there. They end up forcing the flash out of both Maiden Life or Maiden ADC and Jelly. So you do have the advantage of the summoner spells now, but it was good right up until Zohair just kind of ran them again. Really greedy by Zohair. I know he's fed, and he can maybe has the liberty to do that, but this man's not going to stop making plays, I guess.
And we'll see. Dinsbag trying to go for the 1v2 and actually might get something. Dinsbag gets it, and this is just exactly what he does. He's doing the same thing as he used to do on Darius. Zohair going to go for that and might get the kill, but no! A double kill from Dinsbag, and he just keeps winning these 2v1s. Jelly coming up to save them, and Zohair had the best timings possible on the first 3 ganks, but Jelly is doing them one better on the next 3, which are arguably even more valuable.
Oh man, and if Set gets ahead, this is going to be very, very bad for the side of Birds Aren't Real. It looks like Kane is hovering towards blue form with his build. Gragas is building AP. Set is just going to be able to run at them with hardly any consequences if this Set can get ahead and become so much of a nuisance that we know Dinsbay can be.
Yeah, exactly. Set can be a real problem, especially against a team of a lot of squishy players. Definitely can provide some crazy damage and, you know, require the focus of the team. Here's Bodybuilding gonna flash in and do a lot of damage, but he doesn't have any follow-up Bodybuilding. What are you doing? He tries to go for Arch and actually gets way closer than I thought he would. Somehow Bodybuilding gets out of that one alive, even with Zohair coming in, and maybe I'm just, you know, underestimating what Morgana can do, because I thought Bodybuilding was dead to rights.
Oh, that was very well played by by Arch there. He was able to stop the Morgana stun with his W. He's able to buffer it out, as we've seen so much before. Because if he didn't, yeah, Bodybuilding definitely would have just been able to one-shot Arc Zohair as well, being there just to dissuade him, almost flipping it around. But that's not what you want to see if your Birds Aren't Real. One of your key factors was that your Morgana could lane really effectively against this Morgana, but
Yeah.
even down 2 kills, Morgana being able to put up a fight, definitely definitely being gloomy for the side of Birds Aren't Real.
Absolutely impressive stuff. And I just want to point out, because I haven't said it yet, that Zohair is running Dark Harvest and going tending towards Blue Cane with this build.
Oh.
Bodybuilding actually is going to go down just so easily.
Teleported behind him.
Finding a nice angle there, and the Ignite won't quite do it. So Jelly kind of looking for this one, maybe thinking Arch will be a little bit too greedy with the recall, but does get away, so Jelly, even with the ward hop, doesn't catch up to it. But I just want to mention, you know, I am and have been a Kayn main, and so I definitely think that this blue Kayn idea in this game is very ambitious. I would definitely go red Kayn up against the set Alistar, but, you know, Zohair is building the Duskblade. He is going for the Dark Harvest, and that means he's going blue Kayn, so he's just going to try, and there we go. It actually looks like he already has it, so he is just going to try to assassinate that backline during the course of this game.
You know, I haven't main Kane, but I gotta agree with you. Red Kane seems like the way to go, but now is Aldre being a little bit tagged up. Flay's gonna miss though, and I think he's just gonna walk out.
Should be able to just walk out because Kingsland doesn't have any other crowd control available that will hit Aldre. He'll, like you say, you know, Aldre able to walk out there, and also like you say, I'm very surprised to see Blue Kayn in here. I just don't think it's going to work, honestly, especially because you're not getting ahead. I think Jelly's going to be the more effective assassin, and you can see him already trying to go for it, being an absolute pest over at the top lane against Reese's Pieces. But Zohair is here. We'll see if Zohair can grab anything. But look at that. See, the damage, you'd so much rather have a knock up there, I feel. And so that's an interesting choice there. Zohair gets tagged up by the Q. So the which one is it? Resonating Strike? Is that what?
Resonating Strike is the key. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I haven't seen a Lee Sin in actually quite a long time, Stefano. I don't see it often in solo queue or in competitive play anymore. So it's definitely an interesting one to bring out. You know, Lee Sin's never truly out of the meta with his kit, but you know,
the game is this Alistar.
Here comes Zohair trying to take out Alistar, but there's Jelly, and there we go. That's exactly why Blue Kayn is really, really difficult to play into this composition, and bodybuilding might be caught out though as well. Aldre's gonna try to disrupt something. Arch gets a reset there, gonna hop away again. Jelly just keeps trying to chase that Tristana, but isn't gonna get anything there. Actually, he does end up using the E to grab the kill on to the ADC, but doesn't manage to get anything else, so that's going to be Birds Aren't Real turning this one around.
4 for 2, and you see here, it really is just no gap, only Cap being able to auto people however much he wants. He has no pressure. By the end of the fight, he's full health. They went on Arch, which I understand why they did, but you can't just leave a Kraken Slayer Aphelios completely alone in a fight. It's not going to work out for you. But even with trading 4 for 2, Birds Aren't Real still down about 1,000 gold, most of it residing in that jungle topside difference. Yes. So it's going to be a lot on Lee Sin and on Set to carry, but they do have the ability to do that. They have great initiation in the Alistar, and they have Black Shield to really safen them out as Birds Aren't Real picks up the first dragon. But so we're going to have to keep our eyes on Vex and on Jelly this game.
Absolutely. And yeah, like you say, it makes sense to focus the Tristana in a fight because it is, you know, a 5-0-2 mid Tristana, but that just shows you exactly like how many damage threats are available over on the side of Birds Aren't Real. And ADC is facing one right now and gets
flash.
hit up. There's Zohair coming in and does manage to finish that one off. Maiden ADC goes down. So Aldre now is left alone in the spot side. Here's Jelly to follow up just to dissuade Kingsland. And they're going to be able to walk out of that one. But once again, no flash available from Maiden ADC equals a kill for the bot lane of Birds Aren't Real.
Zohair has been so good this game. Not that he's had a particular hard time, but punishing the lack of flashes on Scoop City. He's always where he needs to be. And Jelly, to his credit, though, has also always been there to counter gank and been making plays of his own. This game has really just been all about the jungle pressure.
Absolutely true. Yeah, all of the big turnaround plays have been caused by jungle ganks and jungle presence. And we'll see if Jelly can make something else happen there. But look at this. Zohair predicts the gank, and so they're going to have to back off. So Jelly runs into a board anyway. But here's the teleport. So now, oh, there we go. The cask actually interrupts the teleport, but Maiden ADC still going to use the Kai'Sa ultimate to try to get onto Kingsland. So tanky, though, the Kingsland. There goes Jelly to finish it off, but Maiden ADC is hit up by the Kayn ultimate. There is the ADC going down. Now, will Blue Kayn be able to get away? So difficult to catch, and Zohair's got a blue buff, so honestly, it's not even worth chasing this anymore. Zohair's going to get away just fine, unless bodybuilding wants to go for a flash Q or something, but doesn't. So Dinsbag definitely wants to get his revenge
He's
on Reese's
mad.
Pieces, who yeah, definitely prevented a pretty big play, and he is going to go for it. Dinsbag keeps going. There's no flash available on Reese's, and Dinsbag finishes it off. There we go. The power of Blade of the Ruined King on set rears its ugly head once again.
Yeah, not respecting the set there. We saw Reese's Pieces. He shouldn't have even been close. He could have eat away. He also crucially missed his Frostfire. Didn't get the complete root off. Not respecting the set nearly enough. Set one of those fancy champions that just runs at you and you die. And as a prize, Set is going to be taking the first tower, second tower.
Second tower. First,
Second tower.
mid went down to Birds Aren't Real, actually. So
Yeah.
they did get a little bit of gold back from that. Here's Arch actually going to get hit up by the Morgana ultimate, but doesn't go down.
No Black Shield.
The W away. Black Shield not available, and Zohair is here to support this skirmish. Here comes Aldre to try to disrupt. There's Jelly, still full HP. A lot of damage has gone down over on the side of Birds Aren't Real, and man, this Morgana is just doing so much in these fights. I'm so surprised. We were all not even sure that Morgana was going mid because of how unusual it is to see that, but Bodybuilding's really doing a great job here in providing damage and pressure in these fights.
Yeah, he's doing really well at catching Birds Aren't Real out of position. Their bindings seem to always be hitting right when they need to keep them locked down for just a little while longer. We are going to see him struggle as the game goes on. Morgana's one of those champions where as you get into more and more people, she's not as safe. Speaking of safe, life as an ADC is the exact opposite.
Maiden ADC does get away. Oh my god, what an ultimate there for Maiden ADC to get away, but will it be enough? It will not. I love the mechanical play from Maiden ADC and definitely showing some expertise on the Kai'Sa, but it's just not going to be sufficient to get away from that blue cane.
Yeah, no flash. They able to use the Gale Force and the heal as well as the ult. Well played by the bot lane of Scoop City, but not really anything you can do. Yeah. That's a very fed Kayn. That's a fed Aphelios consistently slowing you. And
we'll
looks like it's a dead Tristana.
Little Gale Force juke there, and actually now Arch is available to free farm. Oh no! Jelly gets away, and Reese's Pieces is going down as well, and this is why I always ban Lee Sin in ranked play. But Jelly's gonna go back in. No way! You're trying to go for this. The triple kill from Jelly. You have got to be kidding me right now. That is some absolute pop-off material from Jelly coming in on the Lee Sin. 1 versus 3 with almost no health to play around with.
A King's Land right now is Jelly of who he chose as a jungler. An incredible play there by Jelly, facilitated by the misplay on Reese's Pieces. He really needed to lock that down, get the Frostfire. I'm not sure if he's not used to the item, but that's been twice now where misses and misplays with it has cost his team some kills. But incredible play by Jelly, and what's worse now is that just spread out how effective the Lee Sin can be. The Lee Sin was was gonna fall off. You know, he didn't have a lot going. He was 4-2-3. He was doing well, but he wasn't going to 1v9. Now he's got the Gold Runner, got the Sterak's, got the whole BF sword. He's in a 1v9 potential.
That is such a satisfying buy, and yeah, you know, you can see that Jelly is heading towards that Guardian Angel next, so it's just going to be so annoying to play against, man. I'm getting secondhand tilt right now on behalf of Zohair because of what Lee Sin is going to be able to do and what he has been able to do so far in this game. Arch actually gets hit by the binding, and there's Dinsbag with the flash. Arch doesn't have it, and Bodybuilding catches him out, and Scoop City are just pulling out advantages where there should be none. They're doing such a great job of positioning here.
Yeah, you know, Morgana, I almost think I still don't agree with it being picked mid lane, but Bodybuilding is so good at landing those bindings. Alright,
Whiffs one,
not
but
even
was
close
trying to predict there.
Exactly. Oh! Breaks the shield!
There we go. The shield is broken. Bodybuilding does have to use the Zhonya's to get away and actually walks forward into the tower because he felt like he was going to be dead regardless. It was a nice reaction time to use the ult and the Zhonya's there before going down, but doesn't get anything. So Bodybuilding, just as we were complimenting him, does miss a binding and then get hit by the Gragas ult. But a nice play there by Reese's Pieces, showing some familiarity with Gragas at least, knowing exactly when the shield was going to be broken there.
You know, Commentator's curse. That one's my fault. Sorry for
Yep,
all Scoop
yep,
City
yep. That's
fans.
that's
Kind
our
of just
bad.
killed
Our
him.
bad. We the broadcast team takes responsibility for that one.
Yeah, of course. Now it looks like Zohar looking a little bit aggressive on Dinsbay. I don't think he wants this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not the person he wanted to walk towards that bush. That's for sure. Dinsbag is not going down to a blue cane anytime soon. So birds aren't real. Continue to try to regain that gold lead. And like you said, they are the slightly better scaling team with a couple of hyper carries in the ADC role. But they do have a problem with this Lee Sin and Set. Like we've been saying, they provide so much damage and utility and crowd control in the mid game. These two champions, that any sort of 5 versus 5 fight you take, if Arch and NoCap don't get to free hit all over the course of the fight, they just aren't going to be able to win those. And the other thing is that there isn't really any substantial magic damage being provided yet by Birds Aren't Real. The Gragas just isn't going to be able to threaten those two champions that well, and so you can just itemize full armor right now.
Yeah, an Ash W into Gale Force.
No way. There's Arch going for one, and Arch just keeps getting enemies down to such low HP, but made an ADC with the help of a trusty Alistar manages to get the kill. Now Aldre has to use a combo to get away, and actually is going to be in some trouble here, but might be able to get away. No, not at all. Zohair with the Dark Harvest takes that one down, and NoCap actually has the Flash Force here as well. Here comes Jelly, and we know how fed that Lee Sin is, and so they don't even give us a time to catch our breath, and they take down another kill in the mid lane.
That is so big for the side of Scoop City. I was just saying the next objective needs to be getting a kill on Kaisa and getting this mid lane tower for the pressure that it provides. The game was just cracked wide open by getting this mid lane tower and getting more kills than Kaisa. Kaisa's still obviously a little bit behind her counterpart, but she is going to be implementing the huge damage now, evidently.
Made an ADC, and we got to see a replay of that one, but bodybuilding is not letting it happen yet because Dinsbag is still looking for more. Arch going to be threatened here, and there's the Set ultimate coming in, and Arch is going to be able to get away from that one. Dinsbag uses the blast cone. He's like, no, you're not getting away from me. Tries to go further there, and Jelly is the one who follows up. Arch doesn't time the flash quite right, but still does get away, and there is Dinsbag continuing to go in. We said the Lee Sin and Set were going to threaten, and now we are going to see if they can do it in a tough fight here, but there we go. Dinsbag, unstoppable, takes down the Thresh, and they're going to be able to walk right down into this jungle.
All you guys had to do was not get the Lee Sin fed and not get the Set fed. Those are the two hardest people for your team to deal with, and that is somehow exactly what ended up happening. 6-3-1, 80 CS up on his opponent. Dinsbag in the top lane. Okay, Aldre. I didn't think that was necessary, but go off, King. And
all right.
8-2-4 on Jelly in the jungle. There is nothing they can effectively do to peel this in. It's one Thresh versus the world. Gragas can maybe help, but if you're helping to peel, then you're not doing your only source of AP damage.
Yeah.
So, Birds Are Real in a difficult position now. Luckily, they were able to get the first Drake, which is going to stop Scoop City from stacking the dragons, as they're kind of doing the dragon dance now, 30 seconds before it spawns.
And Scoop City, we know they're going to continue to look for team fights. Their composition is definitely designed that way, and so they're going to keep going for this and try to get control of the dragon. But we do see the push up in the top lane, but we're going to ignore that right now because Dinsbag is dominating here, finds the catch on Zohair, and that's going to confirm the dragon, unless they even want to go for Baron after this. And if they take out Reese's Pieces, there is a chance. Hook comes in over onto Dinsbag. Let's see what NoCap can do here with the damage. Not enough so far. Dinsbag goes in with the flash, and he uses the ultimate. A double kill comes down on to Maiden ADC, and that is going to be the mid lane broken wide open right now. Arch continuing to push, and here is that replay.
All right, what we see here is very basically just Reese's Pieces of Zohair getting caught. A nice binding and a connect shield by Morgana makes it so that peel's impossible. All it takes after that is the ult from Morgana keeping the Aphelios locked down under tower. It actually looks like Scoop City's looking to take game one here.
They're looking for the end. Now, No Cap isn't up for quite a while, but Arch is still definitely a threat if they can't get on him. Going to take a lot of shots there, and there goes Aldre into the tower. But Jelly takes out the ADC, and I didn't even see that HP going down so much, but that is going to be Scoop City taking game 1 here and silencing our analysts for game 1 in a wild game with flashes at level 1 and everything you could have asked for in game 1 here up against 2 very high tier teams in our league.